Personal watercraft can be a lot of fun to ride. However, they are powerful machines that require skill to operate. Please listen and pay careful attention to the following instructions. You are responsible for operating your personal watercraft in a reasonable and responsible manner. If, after watching this video and hearing from your local tour guide or rental staff, you feel that you are not capable of safely operating a personal watercraft, you should request a refund and find another way to spend your day. Riding a personal watercraft is an active outdoor activity which occurs in a dynamic environment with conditions that are constantly changing. There are inherent risks to this activity which cannot be eliminated. You must know and understand how to properly operate your personal watercraft. And you must exercise common sense and good judgment at all times. Stay alert. Be aware of your surroundings. Again, you are responsible for operating your personal watercraft in a reasonable and responsible manner. The risk of injury or death cannot be eliminated, but through your own actions you can minimize the risk. Preparing to operate your personal watercraft and hazard identification. Use of a personal watercraft is voluntary. Please inspect your personal watercraft prior to use. If you observe anything that you believe to be defective or unsafe, you must bring it to the attention of your guide or rental facility prior to use. If, while participating in the use of your personal watercraft, you observe any unusual hazard or condition which you believe jeopardizes your personal safety or that of others, you should, where feasible, immediately bring said hazard or condition to the attention of your guide or rental staff. A personal flotation device, or a PFD, must be fitted and worn at all times. A lanyard must be securely attached to the driver's wrist or PFD. This is the kill switch. If the lanyard detaches from the personal watercraft engine will shut down. The driver must always sit in the front. Passengers must sit behind the driver at all times. Personal watercraft tend to be more susceptible to rollover with more weight. Accordingly, the typical maximum weight is 400 pounds. However, your rental facility may allow less or more depending on the specific environment and manufacturer recommendations. You know your weight. You are responsible for making sure that you and any passenger do not collectively exceed the recommended total weight provided by the rental facility. Know the waters you are riding in. You may be leaving from a dock or marina. Be aware of no-wake zones, traffic signals such as buoy and channel markers, other boat traffic and wakes, any unique tidal characteristics that exist, and any fixed objects such as bridges, docks, pilings, overhangs, and other fixed objects. You may be leaving from the beach. Be aware of swimmers, diver down flags, and traffic signals in place, such as buoy and channel markers. Follow any other additional personal watercraft warnings, instructions, and/or state-specific laws and regulations that may apply. Be aware of changing weather and water conditions. Operating your personal watercraft. In order to steer a personal watercraft, the engine must have power. To properly steer a personal watercraft, you must give the engine power by using the throttle. Personal watercraft do not have the ability to come to a sudden stop. If you need to slow down, slowly ease up on the throttle. But don't release the throttle completely, or you'll be unable to steer your personal watercraft. This will result in a loss of control. Avoid sharp turns and other maneuvers that make it difficult for others to avoid colliding with you, or which make it difficult for others to comprehend where you're heading. Your tour operator or rental facility will explain the local rules pertaining to right-of-way and other specific local conditions. Be aware of your surroundings. Look out for other boats and personal watercraft or conditions that limit your visibility. When operating a personal watercraft, you must operate defensively, similar to driving a car. Use a safe speed and keep a safe distance away from people, objects, and other vessels, including other personal watercraft. Your personal watercraft is a high-performance water vessel. It is not a toy. In order to reduce the risk of losing control, ejection, and/or collision, ride within your limits and avoid aggressive maneuvers. Riding aggressively can increase the risk of death, back or spinal injury, including paralysis, as well as facial injuries, broken legs, ankles, or other injuries. Collisions and falling off are inherent risks. Collisions with other personal watercraft, vessels, and/or moving or fixed objects are an inherent risk of the activity. Collisions between your own body and your personal watercraft are an inherent risk of the activity. These risks can be minimized but not eliminated by being aware of your surroundings and by operating your personal watercraft in a reasonable and responsible manner. Falling off a personal watercraft is an inherent risk of the activity. You need to be comfortable in the water. If you are not comfortable in the water, or feel that you may be susceptible to panic if you fall into the water, this activity is not for you, and you should stay on dry land. If you capsize in open water, stay calm. Unless your rental facility tells you otherwise, swim to the rear of the personal watercraft. There should be an arrow or label that indicates which way to roll your personal watercraft upright, either clockwise or counterclockwise. If your personal watercraft does not have an arrow or label and you're not sure what to do, wave your arms above your head and blow your whistle. Do not apply the throttle when anyone is at the rear of the personal watercraft, as water and/or debris exiting the jet thrust nozzle, or items such as long hair, loose clothing, or PFD straps can become entangled, resulting in serious injury to anyone swimming or standing near the rear of the personal watercraft. Distances and boundaries. If you are participating in a guided tour, you should maintain a minimum distance of 100 feet between you and the nearest personal watercraft. If you feel like you're falling behind the tour guide in the front, do not make an aggressive move to catch up. Operate safely and responsibly, and if you need help, blow your emergency whistle. If you have rented a personal watercraft and are free riding, you should maintain a minimum distance of 100 feet between you and all other personal watercraft, vessels, and other objects, both moving and fixed. If you are going out to free ride, you must stay within the designated boundaries. Your local rental facility will show you the designated boundaries. If you have any questions about where you can or cannot go on your personal watercraft, it is your responsibility to ask before you ride. Do nots. Do not follow directly behind other personal watercraft or boats. Do not go near others to spray or splash them with water. Sharp turns and jumping wakes or waves is prohibited. If you break the rules, your ride will come to an end and you will be towed back to the dock or shore. You should not participate in personal watercraft rental or tour activities if you are under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Do you understand that you should scan constantly, operate defensively, and avoid aggressive maneuvers? Do you understand that you do not have the ability to make a sudden stop on a personal watercraft? Do you understand that you should not completely release the throttle when you are trying to steer away from people, objects, other boats, including personal watercraft? Do you have any questions about your personal watercraft or its operation? If you have any questions about operating a personal watercraft, please speak with your tour guide or rental facility staff before departing. Again, You are responsible for operating your personal watercraft in a reasonable and responsible manner. The risk of injury or death cannot be eliminated, but through your own actions, you can minimize the risk. Use common sense at all times. Have fun and be safe.